Hey guys, Austin here, and welcome back to another adventure. Well, kind of, for you guys. Uh, Today I'm going to be covering something a little bit different that I've kind of noticed involving this crazy game. You guys who don't know what this is a screenshot from Kingdom Hearts Union X, a mobile game on mobile devices, which I've been playing a lot lately, and it's been pretty fun. So if you get, and it's also free to start out, so I would suggest you checking it out. But that's not the real reason of why I'm covering this. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the challenges in said game, which is the Hades Cup for the 15th level of it, and how to beat it without using a certain meta medal, which is Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Kairi, which a lot of people are considering it's the best boost medal in the game right now, but I figured out a way to do it without actually using that. So for you guys that didn't end up getting it, or didn't end up getting 15,000 jewels at the time, maybe this strategy will help you out somehow. So a little while ago, I got really lucky on a poll, and I ended up getting this, which is Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Mickey, which lowers defense by 2 tiers, or power defense by 2 tiers for 2 turns, and Naminé, which copies the medal after it. Ever since I got these 2 medals, I've been able to complete a lot more of the challenges, because I've been able to stat boost stack with Mickey, and I've been able to copy some of my better medals with Naminé. And I know this is a really lucky poll, because I've heard horror stories of people trying to get Naminé and spending all of their jewels in this game. But anyway, on this 15th level, you go up against a whole bunch of enemies that are level 999. And 3 of them happen to be the bane of my existence, which are status inflicting enemies that inflict poison, sleep, and paralysis when you hit them twice. So I've spent quite a few days over. I've tried it with going flat out defensive, but that's kind of RNG because one of the enemies can dispel your defenses. I've tried it just attacking, and that was actually what ended up working, but you have to meet all sorts of different conditions because of how there's so many different elements to this last battle. So if I go over to this page, this is the setup that I actually used for it that worked. You'll notice that I have this Naminé here, and what I ended up doing to beat it was I used Naminé to copy the effect of this Sephiroth EX, which, as you can see, is fully gilded. And first of all, one thing I will say about this is that having a really good friend medal is huge for this fight, because I have a whole bunch of defensive medals, but I didn't really have that good attack medals. So in general, I found it that it works out better if you just use your friend medal for your attack. Unless you have a really good attack medal already, then you can use 2 attacks. But your friend medal, having a really, really good friend medal for an attack, it really makes a difference. So if you guys are trying to beat this, maybe you should try going to different other parties, and hopefully you'll find a really good friend medal that'll help you out with this. But anyway, what I ended up doing that made this entire setup work was I actually, first of all, you need second chance, preferably second chance 2, because you need to be able to survive, because the first round the enemies will finish you off. But you also need to be able to take out the poison enemy on the first turn, because if you get killed and then you get brought back with second chance, then the poison will kill you right after that, so it kind of makes second chance useless. So what I ended up doing for that is I was trying to look for a really good offensive medal that would be strong enough to take out the poison enemy on the first round. And what I ended up finding for that was this right here. Sephiroth EX that is fully gilded, and it has the plus 1000 on it, and it has attack boost 4 max and SP gauge 2. Now, one thing that I want to note is that it didn't even have any skills on it or any traits on it whatsoever. So it didn't have ground enemy defense, it didn't have attack, it didn't have double cast or anything like that. I was still able to get the 5000 jewels. So what I ended up doing was I copied it with my Naminé, and this has like an insane buffer to it. It has like a 11 or 12 times buffer. So I copied it with Naminé in order to get all of those buffs, and then I was able to do a whole lot more damage with my friend medal. Now, these other medals, this Kiart, I think it's 11, Kiart 11, and Vivi EX, I know both of those are VIP, but the reality is that I only used them because they were the medals that I had with my skills on it, with my Second Chance 2 and my Defense Boost 4. So if you guys have other medals, as long as you have these skills and you have Painter, Pence, and Olette, then you should be good to go, because Painter, Pence, and Olette gives you 2x2 defense with double cast on it and ×2 attribute defense. And then on the second turn, that gets to ×4. And then if you have another defense medal like Pooh and Pals, then you can have high enough defense to where you can survive the other attacks after the second turn. As long as you don't get dispelled on the second round. That's part of it too. You gotta keep retrying it until you don't get dispelled. Because once you get dispelled, it'll take away your defenses, and then you won't be able to survive. And then you pretty much have to use your second chance on the first turn. Although there was one turn where I did it on my multiple tries that I did survive, it's highly unlikely. So you can't really use your second chance for the turns after that, so you really need to have these medals that boost your defense. But these, you actually just single hit on the first round with your other buffers, unless they're single target buffers, then you can use them. So one thing that you guys might be able to get away with to beat this if you don't have HD Naminé is if you have a whole bunch of medals like Kingdom Hearts 1 Kairi and Ursula, HD Ursula, all those single target buff medals. If you use enough of those on the first round, as long as you still have your defensive medals, if you use your single target medals on the healer, and I would suggest using your single target defense medals on the healer so that the healer doesn't heal mid attack combo at the end of your Keyblade. But if you just use your single target buffers on the main enemy, the Ratty Rat Trio, which I don't have a picture of here, but you'll know it if you've played it, then you'll be able to boost your strength, hopefully enough to make up for the fact that you don't have a copy medal here, the copy and EX effect. Or you can just, and then you can also put a buffer here, since you wouldn't have, if you don't have HD Naminé, which will also give you more buffs to hopefully make up for it as well. So as long as you have a whole bunch of different buffs that go along with whatever attack medal you're using at the end of this, you should be able to take out the poison enemy, the poison archer, on the first turn. After that, when you die, second chance brings you back, and then you can do the whole thing all over again, but you can apply all of your defensive boosts as well. And by the second turn, you'll be able to take out the paralysis and possibly the sleep archer as well. And then once you take out all three of those, you can pretty much use the abilities of all of your medals on your Keyblade without any limits, so long as you have something to keep up with your gauges. But something important to note, that whenever you use a single target on the main enemy in the fight, it pretty much automatically restores 1 gauge. So if you have a whole bunch of medals with double cast that are buffs, that are single target buffs, then if you use them on the main enemy, then you get back 1 gauge per hit. And I relied on that on the first round to restore some of my gauges after I used my defensive medals. Anyway, I know this Hades thing expires in a day, so I don't know if you guys will have time to do all this, but the main thing that inspired me to do this was the fact that I don't actually have 0.2 Kairi, and all of the examples that I've seen was using 0.2 Kairi. So I thought I'd release this video and try to give you guys another example for those of you who don't actually have it. And who knows, you might be able to beat it with this, and you guys will have 5,000 extra jewels. So I really hope you guys get some help out of this, and I will see you on the next adventure.